Hi, I'm Bryan Crabtree with Indigo Oak Christie's International Real Estate with a question in our series of what people are asking AI about real estate. Can I sell my house using AI and bypass using a real estate agent? Or can I buy a home using AI like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, or Gemini, or some of the others out there? And the answer is not really, but kind of yes. So let's go through 12 questions people in real estate are asking AI right now. So if you're a home seller, this is important because it speaks to how the market needs to interface with listing and selling your home so you get the most money. So you overcome the challenges created by AI to create opportunity for your bottom line. That's more money in your pocket as a home seller. As a home buyer, AI can be really, really helpful in helping you vet out if I got the right real estate agent. Am I doing the right thing? Is my real estate agent being too pushy? What do you think of this home inspection report? But also, AI does something called hallucination. And this is not a big topic of conversation. AI sometimes, in the absence of highly technical answers, just makes stuff up. So, it just makes stuff up. Can I use AI instead of a real estate agent to sell my home? It can tell you how to sell a house. It can tell you what to look for in a real estate agent. It can tell you what pitfalls to be concerned about. It can give you some generally good and useful information. Here's one of the problems with AI and selling your house. It can also give you the wrong agent for what you need. My sales career right now, and a lot of the other teams that are out there, is that if I come into your house or you call me to list your house, in the Charleston market, all you have to say is, I want to talk to Bryan, and I will meet you at your house, and I will take you from the moment we first start talking about listing the house all the way to the closing. No passing the buck, no passing you around. You're not dealing with my assistant 75% of the time. You're dealing with me because I need to be engaged at every point of the transaction to make sure the best decision is being made in the moment. This is the problem with AI and some of these big real estate teams. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I'm not picking on anybody here. I'm just picking out some of the big names that show up in AI, as I just mentioned a moment ago, and saying those folks aren't generally an individual agent who you're going to build a relationship who's going to advocate for you. There's someone running a team of a bunch of agents. And how do you choose between 50 agents in an office as to who's best for you? Question number 2, can I buy a home without an agent and just use AI? AI can answer questions. It cannot negotiate for you. And I think one of the problems that people have is that the real estate industry over the last 5 or 6 years has had a flood of newbies come into it who've seen something of a gold rush in the COVID era. And we have agents that were selling, 100 houses a year that now, can't sell water in the desert. It's because the market's changed so much. And so you can't replace a good negotiator. AI can replace a bad agent. Another question people are asking AI, how much is my house worth? AI gets this wrong consistently. There is no automated valuation model that's out there that has an accurate value of your home. It's a good barometer. You call me up and you say, I'm thinking about selling my house at 123 Elm Street in Mount Pleasant. And I might Google it and look at the quickest auto valuation I can get so that I know what ballpark we're talking about in case I don't know the house specifically. But at the end of the day, I use an entire pricing algorithm. I have an AI component programmed with all of these algorithmic parameters. I pull all the data out of the multiple listing service and I put it all into together. And then I say, take a look at these 30 things, and I might list out some of them, and I get a price. And half the time it's dead on accurate. The other half I have to adjust it. There's no replacement in the foreseeable future for how much your house is worth other than calling someone like myself. And then the AI basically takes the data and the framework that I've designed it with pages and pages of parameters and pricing algorithms over the last couple of years as I've worked through this thing, and comes up with what the home should be listed for to obtain that golden pocket, as they call it in stock investing, is the price at which it reaches a low, and then the market kind of floods in and wants that stock, and then it drives up the stock. It's the same in housing. You find that golden price, I'll call it, and people then go, that's a value compared to everything else. And we just did this on one, and we ended up with multiple offers and sold it at full price What repairs should I make before I sell? This one AI gets pretty good, but the best way to determine what repairs you should make before you sell is if you're planning to sell it, bring out a top agent who has years and years experience like I do, 27 years with 5,500 homes under my brokerage belt. There's a lot. I've seen almost everything. So I know exactly how to go in and position a house so that when it comes on the market, when people come through the door, it's the most attractive. I just don't think AI is anywhere near capable of doing that. Yes, you can upload photos into AI and say, this is what my house looks like. This is where it is. That I don't discourage you from doing that. I think it's fun and you learn in that process. So I'm not saying call me, I'm the only option. I'm saying do that, but then provide someone like me the results of your efforts so that we can talk about it. That can be a really educational conversation, both for your potential listing agent, but also for you as a home seller. One of the things a lot of listed home sellers ask, or buyers that are thinking about buying a listing, is this home priced correctly? AI can compare numbers. It can give a general market analysis. And if you're in a cookie cutter or tract home subdivision, it can get pretty darn accurate on whether this is a good list price or not. I won't take that away. Where AI doesn't do as well in an automated valuation scenario is if you're somewhere like in the old village in Mount Pleasant, where you have homes that are brick shacks that have never been updated, or completely upgraded, modernized brick shack that's, the same the same footprint of house with the same lot next to each other, could literally be $500,000 apart, and you have to have an analytical approach to figure that out. Another question is, what neighborhood should I buy in? Understand, if you program this question, you can get a good answer. You can tell AI, you can do this with a real estate agent too, but I think doing both is actually helpful. Having a good quality real estate agent you can trust, like myself, but also using AI means that you can almost positively pit the two, me and the AI, against each other to make sure you're getting all of the possible information. But you have to program it. How do I choose the right neighborhood for me? Or which neighborhood should I buy in? You've got to tell it what you like. I like to be near the water. I like to see the water on the way home. I like to have a boat ramp in the community. I like having pickleball, tennis, golf, boat dock, crabbing dock. I want to be 5 miles from this and 10 miles from that. And I like this, and I like this kind of thing. And I don't like this kind of culture. And I love having this kind of neighborhood. And I don't want too many rules, but I like some rules. I hate HOA. All of these things you have to, this is not just what a lot of real estate agents do when they list a house is they'll go, write me a property description for 123 Elm Street. And then AI spits out garbage and they put that in the MLS. And then 2 months later, people go, well, why is my home not selling? Because you asked AI to do something with virtually no context. So when you ask AI a question like this, you have to give them full personal context. And then you really, really need a real estate guide. I almost call it like a translator. If you're in Mexico, you're speaking English, you don't speak Spanish, and you've got a translator with you, whole lot easier to get around when you got somebody that understands the translation of all of it. How do I negotiate after the inspections? This is a question. If you've got a good real estate agent, you shouldn't have to be asking this question of AI. You've got your home under contract. You've got a skilled negotiator who you trust at this point. So if you're midway through a negotiation of a home inspection and you're having to ask AI this question, the other question you might be asking is, how did I get caught up with this real estate agent I don't trust? Because at that point, you should, if you're already under contract and you're already in a listing, you should be contacting their broker and advocating for yourself. Self-efficacy is hugely necessary when you're selling an asset like a house. Big question being asked AI of our 12 questions here: is now a good time to buy or sell? That is a very dangerous question. And here's why. Based on what? I can sit around for 5 more years. I don't like the prices where they've come to now as a home seller. And I think prices might fall a little more and then come back up. And we know what Charleston does. So 5-6 years from now, my $1.3 million house that was 1.5 and might go down to 1.1 might be 1.9. And I'm willing to wait. Well, that's it. You answered your own question there. But I just got a job transfer, and I'm wondering if it's a good time to sell, or if I should rent the house and manage it from 1,000 miles away in the middle of Mount Pleasant. I find Mount Pleasant as a real estate rental investment to be uninvestable. I mean, I don't see the value of holding onto something that makes 5% a year in return, because the values are so high, which is great. But as a rental return, you'd be better off to take your cash and go pay cash for a house in Somerville or Goose Creek or Monk's Corner, where the rent rates are a little bit cheaper, but not a lot, but the prices are half or a third of what some of these things are in Mount Pleasant. So is now a good time to buy or sell? Very personal decision question. How much will my monthly payment be? Sometimes you can get a quicker answer here from AI if you have all the details. You got to know your interest rate. That can be dangerous because no AI can tell you what your interest rate is, even if you upload your credit report, because that's done in an automated pricing system called Encompass at most lenders. So they use a very proprietary software program to price your loan, and AI does not have access to that level of data. What does a real estate actually do that AI can't? So AI finds information and makes up answers. Most of the time, those answers are correct, but they hallucinate. Real estate agents create outcomes. So AI can't do anything. It can tell you how to do it. And I don't mean this to humble anyone, but let's say, for instance, I decided I wanted to be my own for sale by owner dentistry, and I wanted to pull my own teeth. I could read AI and it could tell me how to do it, but I might be in a lot more pain doing it myself than I would be if I just went to the dentist and paid the money. I understand why you don't want to pay the money. I get it. And everyone that's sold a few houses has been somewhere with some real estate agent that sucked. I mean, they sucked and they didn't do a good job. And maybe they meant well, but they didn't know how to do well. Or maybe all they cared about was the commission, or maybe they didn't care at all and they just won't. I don't know. But everybody's had that experience somewhere in some frame of the real estate industry. So the consumer public, you, finds our industry, rightfully so, disgusting. And I don't blame you for that. And so what people like me want to try to do is not be one of those people that create that. I frequently tell people I'm not a good fit for them. We have a public who's experienced real estate agents as the worst version of our group, not the best. And thus they spend an insane amount of time trying to avoid the process, to avoid the pain of the previous experience. Don't do that. Find an advocate, self-efficacy for yourself, an advocate in the real estate business, and don't be afraid to interview multiple people if something about the one you interviewed, even me, rubs you the wrong way. Bryan Crabtree, always happy to help, no obligation. Call, ask me any real estate question. I'm happy to help. 843-343-4141. Online at therealestateexperts.com. Indigo Oak, Christie's International Real Estate. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.